Hey guys, before we start this video, I do need to say it is sponsored by Amazon Coins. I have a special deal going on right now for my UK first-time Amazon coin users. You guys get £25 worth of Amazon coins for just £10. It's really awesome. Use the link in the description below. Amazon coins are a great way for you guys to save on your in-app mobile purchases. You guys can see my little face over there next to the Amazon coin. It helps me out when you guys do this. You can see that you guys get 7,700 lapis for just £10 in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and Amazon coins can be used on a plethora of different games inside the Amazon App Store. You do need to download the Amazon App Store to be able to do that. So thank you again, Amazon Coins, for sponsoring this video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius banner review. And you might tell that I'm trapped inside this tiny box, if I can say it right. I was just looking at myself. I can't get out. That's because I don't want to put my green screen up. It's been giving me problems, and I have to be over in the corner or you guys can't see anything. So you gotta sometimes my arm's gonna be, my arm gets cut off anyway. So we're gonna be doing the Final Fantasy 15 new banner. That's what we're gonna be reviewing today with Libertus, with his new and improved 6-star, Ravus, which I think that's how you say it. He looks awesome, but again, and then we have Ignis. Yes, we're going to talk about him in a minute. Let's go to Libertus and check out what he gets at 6-star that maybe makes him pretty good. We'll talk about we've talked about this before, his TMR, Kingsglaive. Attack 10, defense 30, magic 20, HP 10%. It's not the worst in the world, it's not the best in the world. If you want to pick it up, sure. It's really not going to be doing that much for you anyway, though. So Libertus fills the role of tank, attacker, healer, and he doesn't do any of it well. Looking at his 6-star, he gets recovery MP 30 for an ally. That's actually pretty good. This cure is terrible. Mitigate 30% damage is okay. And then he tries to be a tank again. It's not going to work out for him. Chance to counter physical attacks with Duty of the Mighty. It has a 45% attack break, which is okay. But there's nothing he really does that makes you want to put him on your squad, except for this Limit Burst, which the only reason you'd be using that is if you want to see an amazing looking, animation for his Limit Burst where he runs into somebody with a car. So I really enjoy that. That's from the movie Kingsglaive. If you guys haven't checked it out, you guys should. Moving on to the 4-star base going up to 6-star Ravus. He is a physical attacker, and as you'll see in a minute, I just don't think they spent much time on him. I think they pretty much just made him look really cool and then threw him in there. His TMR is keeping back the dark, increase attack 40%, increase dark resist 50%, a high attack percent up, along with giving you that dark resist 50%. That's going to be useful in maybe some trials, fighting some espers. But other than that, that's going to be a very niche use item. You're only going to be using this materia, in which case you need the dark resist on an attacker. But I mean, 50% is actually a lot, even on a non-attacker. Allowing this materia to go into somebody like your AoE magic cover tank when they need dark resist, 50% is a crap ton. So you might be on the lookout for having a couple of those in your back pocket just in case. It is a 4-star, one 4-star only banner, so that's pretty good. If you look at what he actually has to offer, you literally can almost fit it into one screen. Doesn't really do much at all. I do see the increased dark resist by 70% for 3 turns to all allies, and it's being useful. But there are a lot of units out there that do 50% or higher already to all resist. So this isn't, and we're going to be talking about Ignis here in a minute. So I don't think that's really something that's going great for him. He can decrease dark resist by 50%, but in which case I think if you're using a dark damage dealer, they're doing it higher than this already. Moving on down, we do have, if he does true Zantan Sukin, decrease dark resist by 70%, which is still not as high as the 7-star damage dealers out there that deal dark damage. Then we look at his Limit Burst, which I thought this was to everyone. Increased physical damage against undead monsters 100% for 3 turns the caster. I was really hoping this would be like, to everyone, because that would be disgusting, right? I mean, but it's not, so it makes him not. I was hoping that would be something he can use. He does have a finishing move with the maybe 100% dead killer. It might be something you may look into, but I don't really think so. So overall, and also I feel like undead monsters are normally resist to dark, take more light damage. I'm not gonna say that's in all the cases, but it seems like, that's something that would be a thing. So why would you want to put Undead Killer on him? I don't know. He does dark damage. He should be killing humans. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't make sense for me. So overall, not the greatest unit in the world, and also one that you guys aren't going to be paying attention to too much. But now we have Ignis, our final bro from Final Fantasy 15. We already had Gladdy Daddy. We already got Nock. We already got Prompto, but now we need our cook, our recipe extraordinaire. Ignis is in the house from a 5-star base going up to a 7-star. We can look at his TMR being Ignis's food notes. We've been over this in the news video. It is a TMR you're probably going to skip out on. Similar to Pod, it has a bunch of different abilities it allows you to cast. One being an MP regeneration, which I think is really good. One being an LB up, which I think is really good. But then other than that, the other ones are really forgettable. You can see there's no real stat benefit to having this on. I think the only reason you're getting this TMR is if you're going to be using Ignis as your support buffer, amongst other things, and he needs to have it so he can use his abilities twice, which we'll look at that in a minute, but pretty much all 7-stars need their TMR. Moving on to his STMR, Zwill Crossblade. I feel like this name has been used a million times. I feel like I've seen this item in FFBE 1,000 different times. Maybe there's something different I'm missing, but I know that name. I know I probably already have a dagger called Zwill Crossblade, I swear to God. Anyway, it is a dagger, obviously. Attack 145, Magic 145, MP 20%. This is going to be incredible when we have units out there that are hybrid that can put daggers on automatically. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what Fravia's 7-star holds for her. She can't equip daggers, I do not believe, innately, so you're going to have to put like a dagger equip on her, so I don't know if that outweighs, you know, the attack and magic off of this, and the MP outweighs not being able to use that materia slot. I don't think so, but we'd have to wait and see. But Mouth just came out, and I do believe Mouth can equip daggers. So you're going to be able to use this with Mouth to do a lot of damage. So if you want to make your Mouth as strong as you can, I think this is an item you're going to get your hands on. But overall, both of these are skippable. So if you're only looking to summon Ignis for the TMR or the STMR, you're a hunter like that, they're skippable by all means. Building hybrid units are really tough. They require a lot of TMRs, STMRs in the future. And they're also not the greatest. None of the units coming out in the future, they don't require the hybrid build. So you'll be good on that if you skip that out. But let's talk about what this unit has to offer at 6-star. So moving on down, we can see that we have cooking. Enables access to the following for 3 turns. Creamy milk risotto, fluffy chicken cake. We'll go over this, but essentially he gives you a bunch of different abilities. The way Ignis is going to work for you is he's a great buffer, a great support, but he does take a turn to enable everything, and then you're going to have to take a turn off again to enable it all again. Also, he stops taking 20% damage for 3 turns. He mitigates that damage for 20%. We have Regroup, heal 3,000 HP 3 times to all allies, and then also puts a heal on everyone over time, which is an incredible heal right here. This is very powerful in my opinion. He has an ability where he's going to be able to buff everybody by 80%. If used after Final Blow, name change to Overwhelm. So if you use Final Blow, so it does damage, but Ignis isn't here to do damage. If you use it and use it again, it's going to do a little bit more damage, but again, it's just not something I'm looking to do with Ignis, so I'm going to skip over that entirely. We have an Enhancement. Decrease fire, ice, and lightning resist by 50% to one enemy. Enables Enhancement Fire and Enhancement Ice, Enhancement Lightning. So essentially, what this allows you to do, and I know what Enhancement Fire, Ice, and Lightning are, you use this ability, and then you will be able to access his Imbue abilities. So he can't Imbue on turn 1, but then after you use this, you'll be able to Imbue Fire, Ice, or Lightning on an ally. We'll go down and look at that right now. Let's look at his 6-star passives here. Increase defense 20%, increase resist, that's awesome. Chance to counter physical attacks 30% with first aid. We'll see what that does, but he shouldn't be getting smacked anyway, especially physical. Increase magic and spirit 30%, recover MP 5% per turn. That's kind of important. Let's move on down. So we have Cooking Expert. So we need to have Cooking Expert for him to be able to use both of his moves in one turn. It doesn't appear that that is available from this, so that's not going to be available to him in his 6-star kit, I do not believe. Use Enhancement skills in 2 turns, activated by Overboost, activated by Cooking Expert. So again, I'm not seeing Cooking Expert up here as we can see it right here. Let's see, Cooking Expert, Cooking Expert. It looks like that's going to be a passive from equipment, isn't it? Let's see. Cooking Expert is a 7-star equipment. Yeah, so that's not going to be in a 6-star kit, sadly. And Overboost. Let's look for Overboost. Is that this ability right here? That's another 7-star. So those abilities are not going to be available to us. But activated by Cooking, which is, we're only speaking of 6-star right now. He has the ability to cast Refresh MP, split over 3 turns, increase attack and magic by 120. So in one move, he's giving you MP Refresh to everybody and increasing your attack and magic by 120%. He can cast another move that does defense and spirit by 120% and also heals HP. So that's the counter there, you know, attack and magic. MP regen or defensive spirit HP regen. He can cast increased limit burst gauge fill rate by 200% and give everybody on your team 1 to 4 limit burst crystals per turn. Insanity. Look at his support moves. They're insane. Heal a bunch to your allies, cure all status ailments on everyone, increase all resistances to all status ailments for 3 turns. So not only does he get rid of it all, he heals you and he puts up a resist to all of them, all the status ailments for 3 turns to everybody. So that's another move you can use. We got this one right here, recover MP 80 to all allies. So just 80. He just instantly gives everybody 80. And then on top of that, everybody's status ailments go up by 50% to everything. Ignis is really, really strong, guys. Mitigate damage taken 30% for 5 turns to all allies. You can also cast this. That means everybody has 30% for 5 turns. That is a long amount of turns. And again, like we're going down here, we're talking about Enhancement Fire, Enhancement Ice, Enhancement Lightning. You're going to be able to put that on one ally, so you're going to be able to imbue this element. This is very important when we're talking about fixed dice users or true double-hand users that want to use a two-handed weapon. Most of the time, they don't have an element attached to them, so this is going to allow you to do even more damage with them because it gives the weapon variance modification. We've been over that before. That's going to be it, I do believe, for his... Yes, for his 6-star ability. Let's check out his limit burst here. Fire damage 3.5 times with ignore defense 50%. Decrease fire resist by 100%. So he has the ability, if you max it out, to put fire resist all the way down by 100%. With his limit burst, the damage is not going to be useful here. You're not going to be able to do attack. And it's also not a very high costing LB, as you can see at 18. That's pretty good. So overall, how do I rate his 6-star? Phenomenal. He's a phenomenal 6-star support. Even before going to 7-star, he can do a lot. You do have to take a turn to cast Cooking before you can cast his amazing support spells, but they all pretty much do 2 things in 1 turn anyway. So that is something to look forward to. You can't W cast his spells until you get to 7-star, but he kind of is W casting anyway because he kind of does both in the same turn. His 6-star is amazing. If you don't have CG Nichol, if you don't have Swimming Trunks Nichol, you're going to be going for Ignis. And even if you do have those, if you're wanting to get a little bit of power creep, you know, a little bit, it's not necessary, but this is a little bit stronger, you could go for the Ignis here. Now let's look about his 7-star and how much stronger he gets at 7-star, and if you want to go for 2, which I think you do. If you're going for Ignis, you want to go for 2, obviously. So if we look down here, we have Overboost. 6-turn cooldown, which is 5 turns. Remember, it counts the turn you cast it. Available on turn 1. Increase attack, defense, magic, and spirit 200% to himself. Increase limit burst gauge by 9 to himself, which is halfway full, if we remember correctly. Enables access for 1 turn. Double enhancement. Enhancement Fire, Enhancement Ice, and Enhancement Lightning. So if you cast this ability, you can imbue... So double enhancement, if we look down here, guys. Where's it at? Double enhancement. Use enhancement skills twice in a turn. This is going to allow you to imbue 2 people on your team with the elements, and it unlocks the enhancement elements ability. So if you cast this, this means in all intents and purposes, you're going in to cast double these abilities. Double imbue. So if you want to imbue, you're going to be casting Overboost. That's essentially what it is. That's actually really strong that you can cast it twice in 1 turn, along with getting up your LB. The attack, defense, magic, and spirit 200% is nice, but it's not really something we're looking forward to. If we look at Royal Banquet here, 6-turn cooldown, 5 turns essentially. Available on turn 1. Increase attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 150% for 3 turns to all allies. I do believe essentially you're using this on turn 1 with him always. You're going to be able to buff up everybody by 150%, guys. Turn 1, everyone. Increase break resist, 100% for everyone. Okay, so all these nasty monsters breaking you, nah, not with our boy Ignis, and he's buffing you in the same turn, and then he also enables him access to Enhancement Fire, Enhancement Ice, and Enhancement Lightning. So if you want to do that, you're going to be able to enable those abilities and really just kick it up a notch, you know what I'm saying? Bam! Anyway, we're talking about cooking. If we move on down, we have Cooking Expert. Enables access for infinite turns, quick recipe, upgrades limit burst. Limit burst is going to be doing more. Quick recipe, I do believe, is the ability to cast all of your food skills twice in a turn, which you've read the food skills. Being able, it's pretty much casting 4 abilities in 1 turn. You know, you can buff up spirit and defense, get MP regeneration. Then you could also buff up attack and magic and get, you know, the regeneration of HP. It's ridiculous. So again, this is really strong in his kit. You really want his TMR if you do this. Increase attack magic 30%, increase resist to blind. Glasses enthusiast. Can't blind these goggles. Increase attack 20%. Don't really care about that. Increase MP 50%. It's very good. Spirit by 40%. HP by 20%. I like that. So again, these magic, these attack buffs, we're not too worried about that. Looking over, if we use Overboost, which is his ability, again, we're going to be able to cast 2 of his imbue skills in 1 turn. If we have his Limit Burst, his TMR, excuse me, on, we're going to have access to use food skills twice in 1 turn. Again, to be able to use these food skills, we will need to cast Cooking. You must cast Cooking to be able to do that there. I am unsure on this. Actually, give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I wanted to make sure that this was correct. I feel like this Royal Banquet should have enabled his Cooking, but it doesn't. It actually doesn't enable his Cooking. You must use Cooking to be able to access his Cooking abilities. So you can choose to buff up everything by 150% on turn 1, or you can choose to activate Cooking if you're going for his support skills. It may be, if there are no attack, defense, spirit, magic breaks, you may just click Cooking on turn 1 so you can get into dual casting these Cooking abilities. Again, being able to cast any of these twice in a turn is incredible. That's ridiculous, especially this ability right here that increases your Limit Burst gauge. If all else fails and you don't need any of this stuff, like, so you could just be like, okay, I need all my resist up and I need to recover MP. MP recovery, put your resistances back up, and increase your LB gauge. I mean, this unit is actually extremely powerful when it comes to supporting. It's busted. And you can see here, again, just different ways of saying that you could put fire, ice, and lightning on your imbuing powers. Different abilities unlock that, etc. So let's look at his 7-star upgraded, because we are going to be putting his TMR if we are using his 7-star ability. Fire magic times whatever. We don't care about his magic damage. Decrease fire, ice, and lightning resist by 100%. Still at the 18 limit burst fill rate. Remember that he gets LB. He gives LB. He's going to be able to cast this a lot. So he's an imperiling master when it comes to fire, ice, and lightning. And a lot of the units out there use these 3 abilities. It is ridiculous how powerful he is. And then it enables him to go ahead and imbue the next turn if you would so choose. To your allies. So oh my gosh, guys, he's busted. That's the best way I can put it. I will say that if you already have, I'm going to give him a solid 9 out of 10 on global support unit. He will get you through a lot. Obviously, supports will get better in the future. If you have double CG Nichol, double swimsuit, or you probably already have double swimsuit Nichol if you went for it. I don't think you have to get Ignis. Obviously, this is a little bit power creeped up from what we have in CG Nichol right now. He's not a must pull. If you don't have either of those 2 units I just talked about, Ignis will increase your team's power by a lot. Remember that he is a 5-star base alone unit on this banner. I couldn't sing his praises enough. If you're in need of a buffer, in need of an element resist buffer, an MP regenerator, an imperiler, an imbuer, he does all of this in his own kit. He does everything. He does everything I would want a support to do and more. Pull for Ignis. Again, you can I know I've already said this, but if you already have CG Nichol and you have 2 of them, you can kind of wait a little bit for his 7-star to come out. However, Ignis is just a powerhouse right now and when it comes to global. So overall, we've told you if you should pull or not. I think the banner is well worth it. I think this unit is amazing, and it's a 5-star only banner, making it should be easier to get their 7-star. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how cool the Cooking Genius is. I think he's a badass. And then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys in the next video.